Hey everybody, Keith here, 2Guys How2. June's at home this weekend, but I'm still getting raw on some stuff here at the shop. So I'm working on this sand rail, street legal sand rail that I'm rewiring, putting the headlights on it, blinkers, the whole 9 yards, labeling everything, seeing where everything goes, and making sure it's easy to follow. But in the process, I'm removing the steering wheel. I don't like the steering wheel. Let me get back out here on this unit. It's a little bit off center, so when you're sitting in the cab, it's straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that bracket, re-weld the bracket over, and pull the steering wheel in order to do that. So I wanted to show you guys how to remove a steering wheel, whether it's this car or your own car. And you know, you've got your typical horn right here. I'm trying to light everything up. And you might wonder, well, how do I get the steering wheel off here? How does it stay on? Well, on this particular one, sometimes you can pop this cover out right here with the screwdriver, this little inset, and there's a bolt down there. The only thing is 9 times out of 10, the steering wheel won't just come out. You got to pull them. You might get lucky if you pull this cover off, take the bolt out, and gently pull on it, and it might pop off. Normally they'll have some screws back here behind the back. So on this particular one, this is a Ford steering wheel, even though it's a 69 Volkswagen. We got the Volkswagen Bug, 1600cc with the rear beam and the front beam axles going on, torsion axles. So let's go ahead and pop this off. This particular one has the Ford steering wheel, and there's 4 bolts in the back here, 2 on this side, back behind here, and 2 back under there. So let's take that off, and then that'll give us access to this cover, and we can show you exactly how to pull these off with the special tool. Alright, so back up onto the back side here, you've got 2 holes on each side, and this one takes a Phillips head screwdriver, so you want to go back in there and get those screws out and loosen those up. And there'll be 2 on the opposing side. So let's go ahead, and sometimes you can turn the steering wheel to get up in there and really get down in. And they look a little more complex than they are. You can always watch other videos, but this is going to give you the gist of how most of them come out. Okay. So I got the screws. I'm just going to set the screws down, and this whole cover should come off. If you got an airbag, you want to be extremely careful with that. You might want to just let the dealer deal with that unless you're familiar with the car. So this housing comes off here. Normally you would have your other wires and such for the horn. This thing's a rat rod. So we got the horn button over here. This has a piece of styrofoam in the center of it, which is actually looks like it's cracked. So we're going to take that out and just set that aside. I mean, this looks like a Ford Mustang steering wheel, and you've got your bolt in here. And let me show you guys this. Okay, so we took the center out of here. We had the 2 bolts back here, 1, 2, and we had another 1, 3, 4, and you can see where those went inside the unit. You had 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. They were screwed in from the back side in. So we took that whole thing out. Remember, be cautious of the airbag. And there's a bolt right in the center there. Looks like about a 14 mil or a 9/16. So let's go ahead and take that off. And sometimes you can hit them with an air gun, impact gun, and zip them off that way. I'm just going to do it by hand to show you guys real fast. So you take that bolt out, set that to the side, and that's what holds the steering wheel. And you can see you got your steering column, the shaft in there, and the steering wheel goes around it. So I'm going to go ahead and spray a little bit of WD-40 right there, just to kind of get around where the steering wheel meets the shaft. And they make special tools. They make different pullers, different ones like this that have a turkey foot, and you screw this in, and whatever it pushes on, you put bolts through here and it pulls it out. We're not going to use that one today. It won't quite fit in this little area. So we've got this steering wheel puller here, and it's just a round circle, and you've got a couple bolt holes in there for different locations. And if you look at the center of the shaft here, there's a bolt hole there and there on both opposing sides. And that's where these other screws, you want to make sure you get some bolts that go in there, and I've got some kind of heavy washers that'll screw in there, and that's for pulling the steering wheel off. So if we take this unit here, and basically you can see if I screw this center in here, the middle comes out. So if we put these two bolts on both sides like this, we screw those into the two steering wheel pulling holes there, and we tighten up this center bolt, it'll pull that steering wheel off. So before we do that, I'm gonna, you can't just put that center bolt down in there, it'll strip out your threads that held that one main steering wheel bolt with the big flange on it. So we're gonna put a smaller bolt right in the middle of that, and let's see if we have one. You want one that goes in there, and it's too small, so it won't screw in, but it'll sit in there nice. That'll protect that shaft and protect the threads. So when we screw this into that, and I can show you guys the thickness of this bolt that screws through here, that's going to pull this plate out and pull the steering wheel off, will sit right there in the center. So what I'm going to do, leave that in there, and let's screw these into those two steering wheel removal holes. And we're going to get those snugged up first. And then you can look through that hole right there in the center and see if that lines up to that bolt that we gently put in there to protect the threads of that steering column. So let's go ahead and lock these in. And we can go ahead and tighten this up. It should go right in the center of that bolt we put in there. I'm going to use a 1/4-inch wrench. Let's see if we can just keep some light somewhere in here for you guys to see what's up. So as we screw this in, what's going to happen is that bolt in the middle that I'm screwing in right there is going to push in on the center of that steering column shaft where we put that other bolt. So as this goes in, it's going to pull these two bolts out that are connected to the steering wheel here. So let's just keep on tightening it up, and it should just pop right off. Yeah, you can see it moving it back right now. So it's already off. That easy, that simple, that quick. Boom. And you can see the way the rig up is in there. A little better like that. So go ahead and take this off. Back these out, and there goes, lo and behold, your steering wheel column, your shaft. Take that little bolt out that was in the center there. That protected our threads and allowed us to push in there and pull the column off. You see how I said just set that in there? And that's it. Simple, easy peasy. And the installation goes back on. You just put the steering wheel back on, and you use that one nut that tightens it down. Put the 4 screws in the back, and the steering wheel's back on there. So I'm Keith, 2Guys How2. I'm out of here. I got other stuff to do with this buggy, and I'm running out of daylight, and I'm gonna keep it moving. So you guys do the same. Again, Keith, 2Guys How2. Questions, comments, hit me up. I'll email you back. Thanks for checking out the video. Hopefully it helps you. I do it every day on something, so I figured I'd film it. And I'm out. Peace. What's up, Iggy? Talk to him before I shut the video down. Oh yeah. Yep. You're not a pig, you're a lawyer. He's not a pig, he's a lawyer. Peace.
I'm not a pig, I'm a lawyer.